probably record.
This PC's slow today. Goodness gracious.
I forgot to start recording, but all we've done is assign topics, and we created a Windows 10 machine and installed Windows 10. It looks like everybody's here to be doing that. Wait, where did Jeremiah go? Jeremiah disappeared. Well, it was 30 gig for the hard drive, 4 gig for the RAM, and installed Windows 10 2019 build. Let's look at that ISO file real quick. Windows 10 Enterprise Long-Term Service Build 2019. That's the file. Jeremiah, if you're trying to do this, attach that and install Windows 10. Why is everybody else so faster? Probably because you have less virtual machines than I have. Let's connect you to a network. How about what type of network are you trying to connect me to? Active Directory? Unidentified network. Yeah. Yep. 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 There we go. Windows sometimes just does its own thing. I told you to skip. No. Who's going to use this PC? I am. Create a super memorable password. Next. I'll remember that.
I won't. You can't play.
View more across devices with activity history. No. Microsoft puts me in control of all this stuff. Well, or not, whatever, except sure. I want to click all those off. I would, but there's no network, so it doesn't matter.
How did you get it?
Wait, what's all the other stuff you were doing, Microsoft, while we were asking you those questions? Why is it taking even longer? So we are going to have to assign this thing an IP address when it comes up, and a name. I believe we used the .50 as an address in the past, so it looks like we're running a 192.168.2 network. So we'll just put it at .50 just because good address, not being used. Leave everything to us. You know that's about your will. You're supposed to will everything to Microsoft when you pass away, so they get all of your assets.
I'll leave my, judgment.
Okay, so Windows 10 comes up and working, and I still like to just use the networking sharing center like you've done in Cisco all your career. It does come up to this weird thing. It's fairly easy. You just click on Ethernet. It takes so much longer to get to the Ethernet now, but Ethernet and change adapter options. And that should bring up the legacy dialog box. This should have come up when I right clicked and okay, whatever. I'll stop complaining about stuff. So just an extra step to click to get to the IP settings, and we'll set it at the .50. Everybody should be well versed enough for IP addressing to realize what you have to put into the IP settings. So the 192, numlock key, 192.168.2.50. That's the only thing is remembering what IP address we're using for this class. I don't know if y'all have IPs in other classes or not. Subnet mask just auto fills itself in when you click in it, and the DNS servers. I hope that you know what to put in DNS by now. Uh-oh, that's wrong. There we go. That's better. The DNS servers are server 1 and 2. So those are the addresses that go in. Yep. Well, if you weren't already know what the IP address, take a quick look at the board on your screen. That's the configuration for client 1 address. You should not have any questions on really what to put there. You're in what, Cisco 3? Most of you? If not, you've at least taken Cisco 1 and probably 2 by now. So, okay, close that out. Pretty much everything in Windows 10 now is configured through the cogwheel. So learning to do everything through the little cogwheel under the start menu. Clicking on it, clicking on it, clicking on it. Probably going to break Windows. Yep, it's broke. I don't know how many times this is going to open. Maybe it's only going to open it once. Okay, so in this, change your computer name. It's under System. That configures your system. Cool. So System, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom and About. That is where you change your computer name now in Windows, I think. Yep. If they kind of move some stuff around where you do stuff in Windows, and trying to move everything into this and get rid of all the legacy tools. As more feature updates and versions come out, there'll be less and less legacy stuff. So on About, you just rename the PC. There's a button there for you to click. Client 1. Just remember, you can't have spaces in a computer name or underscores. You can have a dash, I believe, but I don't think you can have underscores. I don't like dashes and stuff. Try to avoid that. Now it wants me to restart my computer. Okay, probably a good idea. This is a lot of IT personnel. If you see job descriptions that you need to stage computers, this is what staging a computer is. You put the computer in, you give a computer name, you join it to the domain, you install the applications that the company's going to need. And then after all the Windows patches and stuff are on, you shut it down and give it to somebody that's going to take it out and install it, which could be you, but this is staging PCs. Children's Hospital, we gave the computer name, the department abbreviation, and then the serial number. And Children's Hospital is so big, they gave Dell the serial number list that they could use when they manufactured the machines. So when Dell manufactured machines, they stamped the serial numbers on the side of what Children's wanted. Of course, they bought 1,400 computers at a time. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll serial number them the way you want to. So what is 1,400 computers at $1,000 a piece? 1.4 million? Or 14 million? I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
All I know is if you're all married all the money for one computer, that would be one PC computer.
So my system's restarted. I've got the IP address configured. I got client 1 configured. And the next thing is I need to join it to the domain. That again has been moved under the cogwheel. I think we did this in LAN 1, where I showed you. But just to review, do you know where you go in here? Join it to the domain. The original release of Windows 10, it was under system, but they bumped that out after we got into the 1600. We got a 1500 series Windows 10, the 1600s and later. So they moved it under accounts. And under accounts, there's a link that says access work or school. So you click access work or school. You have a nice little connect button here. I'll click connect. And typically it tries to contact the internet and it wants to join up to Microsoft Azure or Microsoft Live or something like that. It really wants you to join into Microsoft. I have seen where you had to just sit here and wait for a while for it to give you a prompt to join a Active Directory domain. It doesn't want you to join anything local. I'm not sure why not, because, well, it's an enterprise. You see that? It took a little while for it to pop in at the bottom. It gave you the email address up there and says, hey, sign in to Office 365. No, enterprise. I want to join it to a local Active Directory domain. Just join your domain. Toaster.com. Either typed it wrong or your IP address is wrong. The domain cannot be found. Or you didn't make it an internal network connection. One of those three things. Where it says here, add an account, that's pointless. I don't know why this is there. Just skip it. And restart again. There you go, 192. There it is. Your second octet and your IP address is wrong. Go back there. Wait, okay, maybe 192.168. It's still wrong. 168, not 198. There you go. Yep, now that looks right. Okay, now it'll find your domain. Did we create a user account to log into? That I don't remember. We created a user account. I think we've created a user account in LAN II already. I don't know if I created a user account in Active Directory. I can't remember. It doesn't look like it. So it's probably time to take a break. When we come back from break, we will create a user account. We'll also move these computers out of the computer organizational unit, and then we'll log into our Windows 10, and then probably do a reboot and see if it gets Google Chrome. But looks like it's a good time to take a break and let everybody get caught up to where they can get to the point of creating a new user, create a new organization unit and a new user, and create an OU for our member server and organize Active Directory a little bit. I also realized why the client 1 hasn't gotten Google yet. It's only applied to workstations, I believe, before we created or put our group policy. So we'll do some cleanup after break time on Active Directory. Going to resume recording. Okay, server 1, we need to create an organizational unit probably for member servers. We got one here for workstations, and we also got the group policy set on workstations. So I'm going to move my client down into workstations. I'm going to create another folder here for member servers. I'm going to put an underscore. It's just for future reference. If you're ever scripting stuff, it's nice if things don't have spaces in it. It seems to work a little bit better. So I try to avoid spaces where possible and put an underscore. I hit OK. And then I'm going to move that member server, server 3, into the member servers area. My workstations have all my clients in it. Member servers have all my other servers that are non-domain controllers in there. And my domain controllers has all my domain controllers in it. Simple, logical stuff. Let's make another organizational unit for people. Let's call it employees. I'm not going to worry about groups and stuff yet. I'm just going to create a simple user. Simple user called John Doe. Okay, so the password settings, you should hit the 2 center checkboxes, uncheck the top one since this is a lab user and it's not a production user. I would have not have made those changes if it was a regular user. Somebody who's going to be in a real life person.
Did you know there's actually somebody named John Doe?
Probably.
No, there is, and he actually made an article about how his life speaks because of his name.
The user is created. The computer is over in the workstations OU. I'm going to now go ahead and log into my Windows. Okay, I'm going to go into other user. And I'm going to see if I can log in as John Doe.
Mr. Goodman,
Yes.
I am slightly behind because my server wouldn't load in enough time. So where do we put client one?
You move it into
And user
workstations.
workstations.
Yes.
And then I create another one.
Yeah, we created a new member servers.
All right.
And drug server 3 into it.
Oh, I can't.
Click the little enhance session button at the top. Yeah, you need to be in basic, and then you'll be able to log in.
Hi.
That was scary. Yeah, you have to go into basic mode to log in. You'll have to click your button to go into that. We can fix that. So I got logged in as John Doe. Awesome. John Doe's a regular user. I can't really do much as John Doe. You can't log into server one. We're logging into client, not server one. Yeah, you can only log into as administrator to the server. But what we can do instead of logging in as administrator, we'll look at what they call the principle of least privilege that you learned in security class. So I'm logged in as John Doe. Maybe that's who I actually am. I'm the regular John Doe and I'm the admin. But I don't go around logging in as administrator all the time. I need to make some changes to this computer. Let's see if I can make some changes to this computer by running tools as an elevated administrator account while I'm logged in as John Doe. And if I search for a tool such as computer management, It's like it's mostly Zoom that's causing all the.
Do you want us to leave so you can end the session? That way you can have more power?
No.
Oh man, I tried. At least give me some credit for trying though.
No.
Whoops. Didn't mean to do
I
that.
cannot find computer management, so you should be able to find computer management under administrative tools. That's probably just the fastest route to go. Click Start menu, go to Administrative Tools. You can right click on Computer Management. You can go to More, and you can tell it to run as administrator. That would be the principles of least privilege, telling it this one program to elevate itself so you can do administrative tasks. And it says, what administrator do you want to run it as? How about administrator? So that's a simple way of how to be logged in as a regular user, run things as administrator temporarily, do your work, close it out. That way you don't have every program running as administrative privileges. And if somebody's trying to hack you remotely and there is an exploit, they don't get administrative privileges because you're running everything as administrator. Web browsers and stuff are the most dangerous thing to run with administrative privileges. Okay, I can click yes on that after typing in administrator and pass 1, 2, 3, 4. And I should have computer management up on the screen. Gosh, this is running slow. Feels like I have a flattered hard drive instead of an SSD. Could be something with all of those virtual machines running. Might have a bit of an issue. And these computers being shipped in 2014 may be an issue. Okay, so what was I going to clean up? Well, one thing I was going to do, I was going to delete that user I am with no password. That's very not a good thing to have a user with no password. So I'm just going to delete it. So it's gone. Now I have no accounts that are local that can do anything kind of like that. What else was I going to do? I was going to groups. And several of you had trouble logging in because you're trying to go into enhanced session mode, which is a remote desktop connection instead of a console connection into it. To avoid that problem, you can give everybody remote desktop access to the machine. Probably not a good thing to do in production unless you need everybody to actually remote into the machine. Remote desktop is a really cool protocol that you can be the remote desktop, just like all these people online are using remote PC. You can use Microsoft's protocol for that. And hackers really love to break into that. So enabling that feature is quite dangerous. Hackers would really like to have remote desktop control. Okay, I'm going to go into remote desktop, and I am going to add in and give domain users access to remote desktop. That means anybody that you try to log into, it should work now if you had that enhanced session mode enabled. So that's a neat little trick. Domain users means everybody in the company are automatically added to that account. Unless you've done something really weird, I mean, you can modify the defaults of Active Directory and how it works. And people are put into a different account than domain users. But I've not seen anybody do that in production as of today. Okay, well, that was the cleanup of the system. I got rid of IAM. I added in everybody to the ability to remote desktop. That way we won't get any more login issues if the enhanced session mode is clicked. At this point in time, I probably just want to run a group policy update. And even find command. Maybe because Windows isn't activated. Where do they have command prompts now? Under Windows System, command prompt. And I'm just going to run a GP update /force. That's one of those commands that you just should have memorized. If you're running any type of Microsoft environment, that's something that if you make any type of policy changes, you just run that command. You can go interview our IT staff and ask them. Mr. Goodman said that you should know GP update. Do y'all know GP update? How often do you use it? Wants me to restart. Yes. I'll even throw it in the chat window. So it may take 1 or 2 restarts, but after that, Google Chrome should be installed into the system because we deployed that last week, if you remember. Everybody was caught up and had server 3 and got Google Chrome deployed. If you're a bit behind and don't have server 3, well, Google Chrome's not going to be on there until you watch those videos. Everybody does know I'm putting all the videos inside of Canvas. You click the current week, or if you click the previous week, I've not uploaded anything this week. This is our first day. Of course, there's no videos. But you click the previous week, and there'll be the videos posted under there somewhere. And I'll have the dates for Wednesday's class and Friday's class for you to watch.
This Friday's class had me struggling to stand.
What?
Remember, I believe it was last Friday, how come I had to struggle at the end where I couldn't stand?
Yeah. So
Was that all captured?
that was all captured. If you missed anything, you can watch that YouTube video. We have something going on today, I think. It is called Back to VB Bash. Be careful going around the student center, where they like to bash your heads in to the concrete. Not fun. Okay, they've got free stuff over there. They may even have pizza over there. Just hope it's not Domino's. Why do some of y'all look like, oh good Lord, he's talking again? Our blog post out there. Our professor is really weird. I do notice my Windows client is taking quite a bit of time to restart. That's either my computer is just bogging down because of line scale on the processor, or it's actually installing Google Chrome. It could be both. Mr. Goodman, where did you get line scale on the processor from? I got it from the Windows RG edition. Flash animation. Really hard to play now, but Windows RG is really fun. It was very, it depicted how Windows was back in the day, very accurately. It looks like it's satire and it's complete horribleness, but yeah, that's really how Windows works. Windows RG. I may have showed you all that. I don't know. Yeah, Sean says I had. One of the errors was line scale on the processor that popped up. I thought it was funny. Yay! Google Chrome's on there.
Yay!
Dinosaur game.
I think we didn't disable that. I think we went back to not configured. I don't remember. If I start it up, tap, tap, tap. It's probably really loud in the microphone. Google Chrome should time out. Go to a welcome page, but I believe if I try to go somewhere else, asub.edu. Jared's already got the dinosaur game going. He knows how to get there quickly. I'll just keep coming back to it. And Haley's got the dinosaur game going. And on so we did these and that. What about the system and about for the computer name? Scroll to the bottom to about. And then you should be able to scroll and change the computer name. The client one. Okay, so there we go. Try to go to asub.edu. There's this little dinosaur thing. Am I able to play? Why does it still click it? Spacebar. Oh, cool. Jump. Whee! Jump over. Jump. 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 Bye. Okay. So that's the dinosaur game. You don't want your employees to sit there and play dinosaur game, right? We need to disable that game. I think that's what our big goal was today. I see some other problem. My time zone is way off. It's not 7:34 a.m.
It is somewhere.
Yep, California. $9:34. That's better. So the dinosaur game is allowed. I don't want the dinosaur game to be allowed. And Google Chrome is a third-party product. So a review of what we did last week, real quickly. We created a central store. A central store being that we took a folder out of the Windows folder on the server called policy definitions. We copied that folder into our contoso.com domain by typing in whack contoso.com domain, going under sysvol, the domain name again, policies, and pasting that folder into that location. This can be easily Googled on how to create a central store for group policies and to get that step done. After that, we downloaded the Google Chrome deployment tools and we copied the ADMX files for Google Chrome into this folder. We also found the language file, the ADML files for Google Chrome, and copied the ADML files into en-us file. So that was a quick review of what we did last week, was getting those files copied out of the Google Chrome. And I think our Google Chrome was this zip file we downloaded, if you remember. And we copied the ADMX files. Those about 7 files. And we also had an English folder. And we copied those files, 6 files, into the English folder and policy definitions. I clicked something accidentally, and now it's okay. With those ADMX and ADML files in place, we created a group policy off of workstations with our group policy management tool. And everybody should launch group policy management tool. It likes to put it in the background, so you'll have to click on it in the title bar to bring it back up. We created a group policy object, named it Google Chrome Deploy and Policies. We attached that to the workstations OU. That's why Google Chrome installed. Let's go ahead and edit this policy. And the computer configuration, the only thing we did so far was do a software install and assign our Google MSI installer to be pushed out to the client. Today, I wanted to, well, get Windows 10 installed, make sure Google Chrome got deployed, make sure we could play the dinosaur game, and then I wanted to set a policy under administrative templates. And there's Google. That's there now because we installed those ADMX and ADML files into our central store that we created. I wanted to disable the dinosaur game. So as I expand it out, something's wrong with your central store then. We'll check it out in a second. What I wanted to do with the setting is allow the dinosaur Easter egg game. So under Google Chrome, dinosaur Easter egg game, double clicking on that, disabling that feature, and hitting OK. So that is now defined, and it is defined as disabled. That's the one setting I wanted to change. We could do a whole lot of different stuff to it, but I just wanted to show that we could control that. After closing all of that out, you could rerun the GP update /force. And then I would, if it asks you to reboot, go ahead and reboot. And you can test if the dinosaur game works or not. I'm going to check out Jared's machine here. So he's got it deployed, but the central store is not working. Let's try to figure out what's going on with your central store. This ball, policies, yeah, policy definition. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got those files in there. You're missing the ADML files. So you missed without the language files, it won't show anything. You close, re-edit that fast. Oh. There it is. So I had trouble too, just a little bit, and then just the ADML files were missing. Has anybody been able to test out their dinosaur game? I think I'm gonna add a sync on that. Maybe not. We're about out of time, but I'm going to see if my dinosaur game is gone. Gotta wait for it to time out. So it may require a reboot. The owner of this device turned off the dinosaur game, is what it says. And it shows that the dinosaur has become extinct because of meteors falling from the earth when I hit spacebar to play it. That's cool. Are you going to be that mean as an administrator? Turn off the dinosaur game? Like, no, well, people play it.
Oh man, that's like the best game out there right now.
I
So,
mean, the last was not having a good 2020, you can see that.
yeah. But that was the goal there, to show you that you can control third-party products. You don't have to just control Microsoft products. And there are a lot of Microsoft products that are not in-group policy that you can go get the ADMX files and ADML files for and put in the central store and control them. You want to be in control of your people, right?
Well, with
It's
my-
your network. Become your network when you get out there and get a job. Control everything.
Only let 2 people play on the back for
Mhm.
me.
And then you can like look at all the other people. It's like, y'all are my minions. Be careful about the CEO and the payroll lady. Make sure they get whatever they want. And fix payroll lady's computers first. Yeah. Okay, well, we're coming up to 9:45, so at the end of class, we got to wipe these machines down and get ready for security class and close all this stuff out. And I'm going to end this meeting for everybody. Bye, everybody, and I will upload this to YouTube and either have it up there by this afternoon or tomorrow morning as a link under week 3.